Hey everybody, this is Shane and Andrea with Team 68 for the Collab Lab for our smart shopping list application. We called it BasketBuddy, and we'll give you a quick overview and sort of walkthrough of our application right now. Without further ado, Andrea, please take it away.
All right. So, like Shane said, BasketBuddy is our smart shopping list application, and the app predicts when an item on your shopping list needs to be purchased again, making your shopping experience more efficient. So, this is our homepage when you're logged out. There's a little intro and instruction to create an account. And so, I'm going to go ahead and log in. And here we go. So our application was developed mobile first. So we have a nav bar at the bottom for ease of one-handed use. You can navigate to the home page, the list page, and the manage list page. And at the top of each page, you can sign out. So we have an option to add a new list at the top of our page and your current lists underneath. Navigating to list or manage list without selecting a specific list will show you that you actually need to make a selection and a button to do so. And so when you add a new list, if it's a listing that already exists, for example, I'm going to pick breakfast here, you're asked to enter something unique. And this happens whether or not you're the original creator. So let's add something new here. Sticker collection. And I get another success alert pop up, and you are automatically redirected to the list page so you can start adding items immediately. And let's actually move to a list that already has some items. At the top, we have a banner letting you know which list you're in three parts, adding something new, filtering through items in your actual list. So let's add a new item. But oops, I have forgotten to put in an urgency, so I get a reminder. So I'll say let's say it's soon. Try to add that again, but you know what? I forgot that eggs was already on the list. This is regardless of punctuation or case. So I could add an exclamation mark here and I would get the same alert. In the same vein, I can't add an empty item name. And so let's do grapes. Let's say that soon. When you have a shopping list, they can get pretty long pretty quickly. So filtering it makes it easier to find items. And our form here, filters items by single letters, sequence of letters, and disregards case. So I know I have some items with like TT and ER. So let's try TTER. And you can see that it filters items as you go. And this button here, reset, appears only when something is in this input to easily clear your filtering. And with each of your items on your list, you have a checkbox to the left, the item name, a category label to indicate the time frame the app estimates you'll need to buy it again, and a delete button. And all these items are sorted by that urgency from top to bottom. So overdue or soonest at the top, and latest or inactive at the bottom. And then within each of these categories, items are ordered first by date and then alphabetically for items that are due on the same date. When you check off an item, um, it triggers the algorithm to calculate a new estimate of when it needs to be bought again. So it might change places in the list. So let's say I bought kiwi. Well, the next time I need to buy it is soon. And you'll see that when we entered this page, almond butter was already checked off. That's because it was purchased within the last 24 hours. And once the time frame is passed, it'll automatically uncheck itself even without any page reloads. Um, and for those of us who are prone to miss hits, we have allowed for selected items to be unselected. And our bonus is that if two users are on the list at the same time, any changes are reflected for everyone in real time, which we'll get to demo later on. And so let's say you are done purchasing, let's say kiwis. You want to get rid of it, click the trash can. An alert comes up with the item name embedded in it, so it's clear to you exactly which item is about to be deleted. If you confirm the delete, the item poofs off your list. And let's see, while you are on a list, you can head over to the manage page. We have share and delete options here. I click delete, so I'm on the breakfast list. An alert can confirm that you want to delete this specific list and that it can't be undone. And then so I click OK, and there's another pop-up to confirm that the deletion happened successfully, and I get redirected to the home page. So when you delete a list, it disappears from your home, but anyone else you've shared the list with can continue to use it. However, they won't be able to share it with anyone else. Whereas if you delete a list that was shared with you, it doesn't affect anyone else either. So heading back to our share list option here, we have some differentiated alerts. If you aren't the one who created the list, it lets you know that you can't share it. If it's your list, but the user or the email isn't in the database yet, it lets you know that the list doesn't exist, or not the list, sorry, the user doesn't exist yet. And if the user is in the database, then the list will pop up on their homepage ready to use. So I'm going to have Shane come in. I'm going to head to my homepage, and Shane will share a new list with me, and we will see it show up on my homepage.
Yeah, I'm going to share. It's a pretty short list that we've got at the moment. And I'm just
Okay.
going to send this to your Gmail on my side, and it should pop up on your homepage. And from there, we should be able to affect it together.
Okay.
Right?
Wonderful.
Sent over.
Oh, yep. Shane and Andrew's list just popped up.
All right. And then I'm going to open it up and I'm just going to add just a couple things. And hopefully you can see those pop up on your side. I'm thinking we could use some dog treats, just in case we
Okay.
want to go to the dog park and lure a dog towards us for some reason.
Okay.
As well as, see here, something more normal, maybe a kite. You know, I haven't had a
Ooh,
kite for a very long time, and maybe this is the occasion I've been waiting for.
that
Um,
sounds like fun.
yeah, there's some random objects that just came to mind right now, but they're on our list now, as you can see.
Yeah. Awesome. So, let's say you know what? I think I want to go and shop for some charcuterie instead. So
Oh,
I'm gonna head over to the charcuterie board.
it's a fine idea.
Yeah. Now, do you already have that on your list, or should I share it with you?
I do have that same one. That's the one with that triple cream brie. Oh yeah, yeah, I see the same one on my side.
Okay, wonderful. How about we go and split up shopping? You're on
Sure.
one side of the grocery store, I'm on the other.
Sure, sure. In fact, because I happen to have some Parmigiano Reggiano right in front of me, I'm just gonna knock that off the list. I'm
Perfect.
just gonna go ahead and check that. That
Awesome.
updated our estimate for sure, and I'll get the Gruyere as well.
Okay.
Just because I have those fancy cheeses right in front of me, might as well.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm in the fruit section. I'm gonna get the pears now
Okay,
and the grapes as well.
gotcha.
And you know
And
what? Apples too.
okay, I'm looking at this piece of Parmesan that I got. I'm not liking it so much. I'm gonna uncheck it. It's
Mm.
got just a couple of kind of like moldy spots on it. So
Ooh, not
let's save that for another shopping trip. I'm gonna uncheck it and we'll take care of that later.
yeah. And actually, can you get rid of the cream brie for us? I think
Oh
we
yeah,
already. I think we have enough cheese.
you got it.
Maybe.
You got it.
Mm.
Yeah, this is a pretty substantial list.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, removed.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So, kind of the demo to show that two people can be absolutely on the same list and using it at the same time, and everything is reflected simultaneously on both screens. So, that is our app demo. And I guess to have some discussion about some of our interesting decisions that we may have made. Shane, was there anything in particular you wanted to add about that?
Sure, yeah. I think that something that we found along the way with this application, just as a general rule, was that We kind of came into, our four-person group had some skills with, HTML and CSS, but we were all fairly unfamiliar with Firebase. And so a lot of this application was us learning about how to navigate an opinionated framework, so to speak, and just sort of get along with the rules that it had for its own use. Something that definitely came to mind was the way that Firebase nests data or structures its sort of backend. It does so in sort of pairs of collection and document and collection and document. And until we started wrapping our brain around that, a lot of our queries and a lot of our most of our attempts ran into some errors until we started getting used to the way Firebase is sort of formatted. But as you can see, we navigated a lot of the sort of like interesting hurdles with some success. We've got an application where people can really, use it on a day-to-day basis. And that was the goal, 10 weeks ago. So I think we nailed it.
Yeah. I think something that we all learned was how to pair program more efficiently, and also communicating asynchronously. I think those were things that coming in we didn't have as much experience with. And I think another thing was having that beautiful template for the PRs was very helpful in really including really great documentation. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, something else I learned, I guess, it turns out I have a really strong opinion about squash and merge versus commit and, and merge for PRs. We did decide to have some, I guess, features or enhancements such as items automatically checking themselves after 24 hours, because, again, I think from the user experience point of view, uh, sometimes we're going to leave tabs open and we want to make sure that users are not going to have to refresh each time they're using it. Um, and ability to delete lists, but allow for other users to continue using it. I know, Shane, you had brought that up, and it was a conversation that we had had in office hours about what a user would really want when they're using an application like this.
Yeah, I had a concern and we brought it to office hours, of course, where it was just like, can a user delete another person's list? And that conversation was really a practical, that shouldn't happen. That would be a problem. So we had to make sure that Firebase wasn't enabling that to happen. And it's not. It's, once a list is deleted for one user, you can still maintain that old, almost that artifact of the old list is still in Firebase, just kind of disconnected from that collection that it was originally part of. Which is just, yeah, one of those proclivities of the thing that we needed to wrap our heads around.
Yep. And I guess our last bit is maybe stretch goals or features that we would have liked to implement. I think using a package to handle the styling of notifications more
Yeah.
aesthetically. And I think dark mode we talked about. And also, I think recalculating a date next purchased when you uncheck a purchase so that the algorithm kind of isn't a little bit thrown off. Um, and I think another one or two were differentiating between lists shared with you and lists you've created, and also testing. Um,
Mhm.
we definitely ran into some situations where adding new features and changes to the database broke previous functionality. So it would have been really nice to have caught that like a little quicker and a little easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it might be like a nice next step for any of us as we, if we want to keep adding to this project, on our own, establishing a testing situation that just proves that it does what we think it does right now. And then as we look to add more features, then we could then, build up from there. But that might be the next thing that we reach for is just like, yeah, let's establish exactly what it's doing very firmly. But as we can tell with this demo, it seems to be looking pretty good. We just need to, guarantee it, so to speak.
Yeah. So I guess to wrap up, if you have nothing else, shout out to the rest of our collabbies who really embodied the spirit of collaboration and learning together, and the mentors for all their detailed feedback and great suggestions and the ability to do deep dives. into documentation and the occasional mob programming. So this is a great
Absolutely.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you to the Collab Lab, you, Andrea, and all of our collabbies. Just the time and effort from everybody, and for anybody else watching this, if you haven't engaged with the Collab Lab, check them out. There's another cohort starting, I believe, this July 2024. Yeah, sign up and see if you can, make a cool, application like we have. All right, thanks everybody. Bye bye.